Hey everybody, Nate Peo here. What I wanted to do was create a new type of episode. This would be a solo episode that's going to focus a little bit more about education, about motivation, about detailed ways of doing things, or maybe high level concepts. Things that's really a bit of the knowledge that I've collected over my years and my career and my experience and share them with you. And the reason why I wanted to do this is I started talking with a few people about getting really dialed down into who our audience is and really get it refined to one person in particular who that message resonates with. So I started thinking about the things I like talking about, or I like reading about, or I like hearing about, or I like sharing on social media. And they really boiled down to they were things that resonated with me, or things that resonated with me in a past version of myself. And so when I say things or post things or give advice, a lot of times that advice isn't just directed towards the person I'm talking to, but also it's really directed to me. It's what I needed to hear or want to hear or need to be reminded of. So you might ask yourself, well, who are you then? Well, I grew up in Nebraska. I came from middle class family. Parents were together. I had, a lot of, I guess you could call it privilege in life. I didn't really want for much. I was never the most athletic kid. I was never the best looking. I was never the most popular. Never, at the top of the list of anything. In reality, I was probably pretty average. And I think that shaped who I was. Like, I always had an idea that I wanted to be bigger. I wanted to do more. I wanted to break out of mediocrity. And so I would do things to maybe get there. And I was involved in fringe sports. I listened to punk rock music. I had a bit of a rebellious streak. I tended to kind of cross different cliques. Like, I felt like I got along well with the smokers and the jocks and the skateboard kids. I wasn't ever too one niche-y, but when I got into something, I was like super heavily invested in it. I was like all in with the idea of what it was I was doing for it. But growing up, I did think I struggled a lot with self-doubt, self-esteem. I remember in junior high, if I saw somebody from school at the mall, I'd probably like try to hide so they didn't see me, because I would be nervous I might have to say hi or talk to them. And all through like school, I think I felt that way until I discovered alcohol and drugs, for that matter. And I started using those as a crutch to kind of be this person who I wanted to be, which was a bit more outgoing of myself, somebody that wanted to be, I guess, an extrovert versus an introvert, scared to share who I was. And I think that carried on through most of my early life and even up to where I'm at today. So when I talk to that person, I think about the things that I've struggled with in the past of how do I become who I want to be? How do I overcome self-doubt? How do I overcome fear? How do I learn to step out of my comfort zone? Those are a lot having to do with it. But it's also this purpose of like somebody that wants to step out of being mediocre, step out of being average, and wants to accomplish big things. How do you become an entrepreneur? How do you become somebody that inspires, somebody that's a leader? What are those things that throughout my life I've struggled with? I've had businesses that have failed. I've had 2 homes are foreclosed on. I've been laid off. So I've had a lot of failures, but I've also overcome many of those challenges. So I want to talk to myself and that person and say, hey, if I knew now if I knew then what I know now, this is what I would tell you. This is what I would guide you to overcome. So this episode, this show, this type of episode, I'm going to try to do once a week. And it's going to be written in the voice of me talking to myself in like a reverse time capsule. Here's a lesson you've learned, what you've come from it, what you want to take away from it. They might be advice, it might be skills, it might be generic information, it might be detailed step-by-step information. But a lot of it is this idea of sharing your knowledge. In junior high, this quote stuck with me. A teacher said, hey, if I show you how to do if I tell you how to do something, you're gonna learn about 25% of it. If I show you how to do it, you'll learn about 50. If you do it yourself, you'll learn about 75% of it. And if you do 100% of it, or teach somebody how to do it, you're gonna learn 100% of it. So that was really true. I remember being in junior high and there was a bunch of seniors in the class and they were kind of intimidating. And I would get with my projects done early and my teacher would say, hey, you need to go show the senior kid how to do this project. And I remember as I was showing them, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is where I had a hiccup, or here I had a step that I figured out a little shortcut. So I was actually learning the material a bit better. And that lesson always stuck with me. And throughout my life, I've been a student of self-improvement, self-development, entrepreneurship, and I consumed a lot of information. I was always looking for another book to read, another YouTube video to watch, motivational speeches, all that kind of stuff. The Tony Robbins, the Robert Kiyosaki's, all that stuff, I would just consume it. And I would also consume a lot of stuff on management, on leadership, and I still continue to this day. But what I've come to the realization is you can't always consume. You come to a point in your life where you need to reach back, help others up. You need to share your knowledge. And really, that's when you're gonna learn the most about yourself, is when you share your story and your lessons learned to others. So it's gonna be kind of in this, I see it as a couple ways of sharing the voice. There's gonna be the sage. That's the person that's motivation. That's the person you climb the hill, the mountain to find out their advice. Then there's the teacher, the mentor. That's the person that really shows you how to do something, that lets you learn from your mistakes and helps you guide you along the process and teaches you those lessons that you needed to know. And at the time, you might not have realized that they were lessons you needed to know. And the last one is the advocate, the sponsor. That's the person who is a champion for you and your cause. They introduce you to the people you need to be introduced to. So I think that brings me full circle of the voices I see and what I want to share. So the reason why I want to do this video is to give a little bit of a brief introduction of what to expect and why I intend to do it. Hope you enjoy this journey. Please subscribe to the channel, the YouTube channel down below. This is where it's originally going to be posted. Then we'll be repurposing it on the All In podcast. So if you haven't subscribed to the All In podcast, please do. And of course, find us on social media. Anyways, once again, I'm Nate Pale. Hope you like this message, found some value in it. And if you did, please tell one or two other people. That'd be awesome. And look forward to connecting with you on a regular basis. Have a good one.